Okay. Looks like we're live. Boy, I had a hard time with this yesterday. I couldn't get my channel to save the lives on my members only. So I lost 3 readings that I have to redo today, and so we'll have some more coming out pretty soon. I think today we have, I can't remember what I did yesterday, Aries and Leo, but I lost Leo extended and I lost all of Sagittarius too, so I have to redo it. So I'll be doing that today, and then they'll come out. Those 3 will come out tomorrow. The ones that I said that didn't happen, but the 2 other fire signs will come out later today, like around 3, I think. It's like a 24-hour window or something. Anyway, so what I'm talking about today is the planets, because you know how I feel about them. I mean, the more we know, right? The more we're aware of what's really going on, I think the better off we are. So I thought I would just go through all of the interactions. Today is the day that Pluto moves into Aquarius. This is a big change of vibration and change of us. You know, Pluto is the transformative planet, right? So let me just go over what I found out about what's going on in the sky today, so you guys are like in the know. It's Tuesday, huh? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We've been waiting for this day for so long, right? Oh, Pluto moving into Aqua. I've been journaling like a mad, crazy person about what the last days of Pluto in Capricorn have been like in the news, as well as like in my life. So I'm gonna see if there's anything going on there. But so the first thing that is on the planet thing is the sun is opposite Uranus, so it's opposing. So there's a light shining on expressing individuality. Then there could be conflicts between the urge to move forward, that is truly you, like moving forward in a way that's really, really uniquely you, and the demand of the consensus of other people. What are they thinking? What will they think? Right? The radical approach is the one that's going to be the winner, just so you know. So you might be filled. Uranus is like a shock and awe planet, and it's opposing the sun. So there could be like this feeling of like, are you somebody that worries about what other people think, or are you feeling strong in your own beliefs? I feel like that's kind of what this planetary action is doing. It's like making us realize, like, are we okay with the way we feel about something, right? The second thing is Sun trining Neptune. So this is about the sun shining light on your imagination and spirituality. There could be, I feel like, really big psychic alignments. And I feel like all the readings that I've done in the past, I don't know, month or 2, they're all about us like coming into alignment with our higher self, every single reading. And that's what the planets are also saying. The astrology is also saying the same thing. So we have psychic alignments that lead to inner peace and peace all around you. And it says, extend passion to someone in need. So you might find yourself being compassionate. Okay, so then the next one is Sun sextile Pluto. This is a good energy, like work together energy. Light is shining on healing and renewal. A potent day filled with personal empowerment and positive change. Yay! What a great day. I'm so excited about a day like that. How about you? Um, Moon square Chiron. Okay, so this is another thing that's been coming out in the readings really, really strong for a while. We know we have Chiron up there in Aries, you know, the Emperor energy. So we're really kind of seeing that and like taking charge of our past, maybe reframing our thoughts. And so the moon is squaring Chiron. So there's conflict between your emotions and deep healing. You can tune into deeper issues today and may react to trauma suffered in childhood or long ago, right? Profound healing will be found today, but it begins with acceptance. So maybe that's what happens today is we accept our life as something that is valuable. Every lesson, right? I kind of feel like that's where the acceptance of it starts as you realize what it really gave you. And when you can see what something terrible, some kind of experience that felt like the end of the world, when you can see what that really did for your life path, how it changed you in some way, right? Then that's when you start to accept it. Like, yeah, it was really bad, but look what happened to me. Like, I'm completely changed, right? So it's kind of like this aha moment about accepting something that happened when you're younger, right? So the next one is Mercury opposing Jupiter. Everyone's mind is on fire and even overconfident. And I think this energy lasts more than a day. I think it's just kind of in the air right now. It's Mercury opposing Jupiter. So you feel today like overconfident, like anything's possible. You know, I can do this, I can do that. It reminds me of where I've been for the past month with my just my whole daily life being completely turned around by myself without even like planning it. So it says, beware of scattered thinking. Oh, that's a Gemini thing, right? Jupiter is in Gemini. So I just feel like, you know, that is something about me that's just, I am scattered all day long. And it's saying like philosophy might dominate your thoughts. This is a great energy for creative writing or focus on one specific course of study. So you guys might be like just drawn toward deeper things. You know what I mean? Philosophy. I mean, I could think all day about that subject, about all the possibilities that people have thought of, and which ones resonate or what part of that story resonates with me. I do it all the time, all day long, and I kind of feel like it's kind of nice to see an energy here that describes my life. Anyway, so the next one is Mercury trine Chiron. Okay, so we're back to the wounded healer energy, right? So we're really looking at this. I mean, it's got three other planets interacting with Chiron. Do you see how important it is for us to like really relook those things that hurt us so bad and figure out how to like reframe our thoughts so that we can accept what happened, accept what's going on. Let me see. Hello. Okay. Then let's see. So Jupiter, Mercury trine, Chiron, a supernatural energy and ability to uncover hidden problems from long ago. This can make patterns of behavior more conscious, and that turns into acceptance and deep healing. Jupiter sextile Chiron. This is about faith and inspiration are seen as beyond institutional control and instead of dependent on individual insight. Healing the wound of overdependence. on traditional viewpoints is made more possible. It begins with faith in yourself. So this is talking about love, self-love, right? The next one is Uranus sextile Neptune. Potential for innovative breakthrough in creativity, spirituality, and compassion. Shared ideals are gently modified to allow a new form of expression to reveal itself. So, there's a breakthrough. We're going to have breakthroughs in creativity, spirituality, and compassion. I love that movement, that energy in the planets. Let's see what the tarot has to say here about this energy. Okay, angels, spirits, and guides, thanks for all the astrology information today. I appreciate that. It really does help me get it through my day. Let's see, what else would you like to tell my collective about all these changes we're feeling? Judgment card. That's about allowing your higher self to lead. Eight of Cups, walking away from fear. And it's time for healing. It's time for you to surrender, right, to the divine, to your divine. Like, whatever happens, happens, right? I think the first thing that's going to happen with your soul, like, let's say you surrender and your soul comes to lead you. The first thing it's going to do is Knight of Cups. Like, it's about kind of understanding your heart, understanding your love, right? And then here comes the Chariot, which is about alignment again. So the first thing that has to happen is some kind of love, like the way you love yourself, the way you see yourself. What are you walking away from? What are you walking away from here in the Eight of Cups? This is like turning your back on something, right? On fear, on guarding yourself from holding back. Look at that. That's what you're walking away from, is all this feeling like you need to protect yourself. I think that when we get like the message and that understanding of who we really are, like in the Judgment card and the Chariot card, where we're actually moving in the same direction with our higher self, of course we're going to have, first of all, more love for ourselves. We're going to be integrated with our soul. And like any of the fears, I mean, you're just not going to have them. They're just going to disappear because you're allowing your higher self, who is fearless. So the argument, or the challenge, is trying to tame those thoughts, the human thoughts, and it's got everything to do with our childhood, right? The Chiron, like, I feel like something happened, as a kid that made you feel like maybe you lived a life in fear or protecting yourself, like not really allowing other people to get close to you. That's what this energy is about. And it's telling me you've lived your life like that. Maybe all of us have, right? But like this healing and this surrender is bringing out like a brand new beginning. And here you've got a queen here, Queen of Swords. This is about like removing the emotion out of something, not allowing your emotions to guide you, but you're being guided more like down a logical kind of thinking path, Yeah. So, where they're taking you is this Nine of Pentacles, which is pretty good. Like, you see how you start out here, like with the Knight of Cups, this is about like self-love, you know? It's about leading with love. It's about having love for other people, compassion for other people. And that's what our soul really is here to do. Love other people, raise the vibration. And in order to do that, like in this time that we're in, we're changing people. And someone we're all involved. Every single person is involved. We get to choose where we want to go and what we want to do next, you know? And it does require effort on the human's part because the human is the one that has to, you know, like for instance, accept what happened as a child, you know, like you accept it and realize where it took you next, you know, you realize what kind of things it made you manifest, you know what I mean? Like the life that you've lived. And I think like you see value in it, you know, because it probably, if you're guarded and all that, you've probably had a life like that, lived in fear, lived in like not giving your heart out, holding back, you know, not being your true self. And I mean, your higher self is like, let me show you who we really are, you know. I also feel like there's a message here about your thoughts changing when you lose the emotional stuff about it. And I kind of feel like this might be talking a lot about this Chiron. Remember, you have Chiron in here a bunch. One, two, three different planets interacting with Chiron, the wounded healer. That's old trauma, that's childhood wounding. And we're blasting through that. Like, it's just time. I mean, all of these Chiron interactions, I mean, we're not going to really be able to, you know, not move through this energy. I mean, I guess we get an opportunity to decide whether we want to go with our soul. But I feel like whoever watches this video is gonna, because that's what it shows me. It shows me that the judgment and the chariot, and it's saying like all of these transits are about alignment. They're about you really getting it, really understanding the purpose of your past. You know what I mean? When we can understand the purpose of our past, and I'm talking about this wounded shit from Chiron, these are traumas and they do affect us. Look what they've done. You know, I mean, you've been living in fear, and this is what the first thing your higher self is doing is walking away from all the fear. Like, you don't need to have the fear anymore. Like, because I feel like your higher self is kind of like making it known through this planetary actions, moving you, you know, this way and that way, so that you can reframe the way you feel about who you are. We got to be in it. We got to be in this kind of energy. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is like realizing who you are. This is realizing who your soul is, how powerful it is, how connected you are to everything else. Like, it's so much bigger than we think. It's so much bigger than the Nine of Pentacles. So much bigger than a card. It's an energy. It's an energy of, man, I am I am the I am. I feel like that's kind of what's happening. We're realizing our own power. Even in your childhood trauma, right? Even the fact, like maybe what your higher self is showing you is, you know, like this was the plan. This was the plan. And as soon as you decide that you're going to surrender that to your higher self and go like, okay, yeah, you made the plan. Let's keep going. Let's keep going and let's change what we're doing because, you know, my human has been scared and holding back my whole life. So that's what I see here. I'm going to clarify some of this fear because I kind of want to know what it is. There's a 7 of Wands here, and it's showing like fear of moving forward, fear of crossing something very emotional. She's going across some water, which is emotional, right? And it looks like she could fall in because these wands have holes in between. So she's going to have perfect balance. And she looks a little bit afraid. right? So maybe it has stopped you from moving forward in some way. Like, I don't know if I can do it, right? But in this card, it's saying, like, oh, yeah, you can. We can, is what your higher self is saying. You're limiting, the human is limiting us. The human is afraid. Nine of Wands. But I also feel like Nine of Wands has a two message thing. And I talk about this a lot. Nine of Wands can be like, I am a victim. Everything bad happens to me. I have to protect myself. And the reason that I know that it means that is because of the surrounding cards, right? And I feel like you're walking away from that idea, that feeling like you have to protect yourself, because I think that when your higher self comes riding in here with a chariot, I kind of feel like everything is changing about the way you feel. Like you understand you don't have to protect yourself because you have this soul that is almighty and powerful. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like you guys are learning that this divine plan was really that divine, right? So here comes Neptune. Remember, Neptune's in this reading. Sun is trining and Uranus is sextiling, right? So this, remember, sextiling Neptune, potential for innovative breakthrough in creativity, spirituality, and compassion. Shared ideals that are gently modified to allow a new form of expression to reveal itself. So you're going from a confused state to clarity, right? The rose-colored glasses are coming off. I kind of feel like when Neptune still in retrograde? I'm not sure. But I feel like that was the message when Neptune was in retrograde. So I don't know. This could be about how you feel about love. You know what I mean? Decisions. Big changes. Big rebirth coming in wintertime, right? And then I think new passion. Here's Mars coming in. Was Mars in here? Not today. But Mars is still active, don't forget that. But like, I feel like what's happening here is like you're really reframing what you think. You're not confused about your life anymore, and you're making decisions to move toward this new person that you're becoming. And really, that is what all of the messages have been about. Every single, like, each sign that I've done, and they come out like, just, I'm not doing them like live on here, but they come out, like every couple of days or something. I have something coming out. Every one of those readings are talking about the same thing. They are. So we're all being nudged, being guided, being driven toward this awareness of how powerful you truly are. And part of that power that you get, it's because of the past. So it had a purpose, and that's what you're realizing in this Nine of Wands, is that, wow, this tricky life of mine led me to here, this understanding of who I am, this alignment with my higher self. It feels good when you're aligned with your higher self. I'm telling you, like, I'm not saying human doesn't still get scared, but like this alignment, if you continue to nurture this relationship with your higher self, there is no telling where you will go or what spirit wants us to do. And that's what's happening. We have so many weird things going on, don't we? And especially with the astrology, that's why I wanted to look at it, because I've been feeling weird too, like just super weird. And I'm like, what is going on with me? You know what I mean? Everything from sleeping or lack of sleeping, right? Up to like all these crazy, you know, I don't know. I'm up all night writing, I'm up all night painting, I'm up all night, right? So I kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm just trying to go with the flow of it, right? Trying to pull my guard down, trying to like really understand those nine wands weren't about being a victim. They're actually about winning a challenge. You know what I mean? So I just feel like that's important. I feel like you're making new solid foundations in yourself here. Um, okay. Tell me what they're realizing in the Nine of Wands. Tell me just like one card, what's going on in that Nine of Wands. Clarify that for me. This could be about a relationship. You know, it says reunion, soul ties. So maybe the last thing that you are feeling Nine of Wands about is about a person, a lover, a soul friend, right? Someone that you think about, but it didn't work out. I feel like you're understanding something here. Big growth coming in. Big growth on that one. And it could be about just surrendering it. Like maybe this person really, wasn't for me. And I think honestly that might be the truth because it would be about a vibrational match, right? So if you were in the Nine of Wands when you met this soul tie, they are probably in the Nine of Wands too. You know what I mean? They're probably in that victim mentality as well. So you attract what you're putting out. And I just feel like, I don't know, maybe you're realizing that. Like this could have never worked out. So I don't know why I'm beating myself up about it. I wasn't vibing where I need to vibe at. Yeah. I kind of feel like, you're getting clarity on this possibly through your dreams. I do feel like there's a lot of, like, the veil is thin. So I feel like there's a lot of, like, messages coming in for us. So I might just suggest, like, I really feel like through the end of the year at least, like, let's just put it that being the timeline. But for the rest of the year, keep some kind of a book by your sleeping, where you sleep, so that you can wake up and jot down whatever you just dreamed about when you wake up from it. Because a lot of times, like, we'll forget what we dreamt about, and it was a really an epiphany, and you got one coming here, and it's right here, this breakthrough, right? This is what's going to give you like a big awakening and cause a lot of growth as well. Okay, tell me what you're realizing in the Nine of Pentacles. This is the other realization card. Nines are about realizing something. Okay, this could be about guilt, about this person. It could be a divine, right? Somebody that you're separated from, and then divine feminine energy. Tell me, maybe that's what I just said was part of it, what they're telling me now. Because remember, you're having like a breakthrough, an epiphany. Third eye is coming out about a contract, right? So you're realizing this was a contract. So there's no reason to feel guilty. You moved on, they moved on, because you have to love yourself. You do. And you feel rejected. And you're realizing you weren't rejected. I just wrote about this last night. So crazy it's coming out today. Hang on. Let me look and see where it's at. A life of chaos, heartbreaks, depression, anxiety, rejection. That's the one. You feel rejected by your mom. You have repeat relationships where you were rejected. How will you respond the next time you're rejected? It could be anywhere. But this is the lesson right now. How do you respond to rejection now? And then I wrote, good question. The answer is, I didn't know the answer, so I just waited. And then I said, the answer is, you observe the situation as your soul does. Is this a rejection, or is this just not for me? And then I wrote down an example, like in parentheses here. And it was about a job I tried to get. You would not believe how many jobs I haven't gotten. in the last 5 years. It's crazy. And I keep feeling because of my age. But when I started like reading this and like really understanding like what spirit is trying to say to me, is this a rejection or is this just not for me? I applied for a job at a casino and I have a gambling problem. I'm an alcoholic in recovery, all kinds of things. Um, and I didn't get that job and I didn't understand. Like I done that kind of work for years. I have all the, and I'm nice, but they didn't hire me. And I felt like, why are they not liking me? Is it because I'm old? But like I just figured it out last night. This can be about relationships too. And I was thinking about that. Like you like somebody and they don't like you back. You fall in love with somebody and they don't fall in love with you back. And they reject you in some way. Do you take that as like I've been rejected like when you were a kid, or do you look at it and say, like maybe this is the wrong path, the road is being closed, this isn't meant for me, this is not the way? It's not a rejection, it's your higher self redirecting the path. So the other thing that I wrote about last night is what other people think. And I think that these two things are very, very big for me. Um, so how do you deal with that? Not apologizing for who you are, you know. And I kind of feel like, I do this to myself. That's why I wrote about it, obviously. I think that's something that's being ripped out of my life, is this worrying about what other people think, Um, and then I wrote, it's their journey. They can think what they want. And you have to ask yourself, are you being your authentic self? If the answer is yes, then don't apologize for being you. You're perfect. And that's what I wrote. And so I don't know. I guess I didn't really come up with a whole solution with that one, but I think it's important. And here's the self-love card here, the third eye, and the contract moving forward is what I feel like. The contract moving forward for you on your self journey is involving loving you. And that's what I'm feeling. Okay, Spirit, can you give me some advice? The dog card comes out. This card is about friendship, allies, loyalty, trustworthy support, and obedience. Old age, maturity, peace, virtue, wisdom, retirement. Understand who you are. And understand that even the hole that has been put in your heart, maybe more than one time, maybe there's more than one hole, but like that is who you are. That is what's made you wise. That is what's made you have this inner peace, or that's what's bringing it, right? I do feel like this could be talking about a love coming in too, like it's talking about somebody coming in that's your friend, that's loyal, that's trustworthy, that's supportive. It could be somebody that's mature, right? Wise. Maybe they're even retired. I don't know. But I feel like there's a friend coming in. And I don't know. It looks to me like there could be love coming in here even. Like, but definitely healing of that heart with the Chiron energy. The wisdom coming in, the loyalty to your higher self. You could read this a million different ways. Love yourself is what I feel like. Love the fact that every shitty experience made you wise. Gave you the peace that you feel inside, Gave you all the wisdom. I just feel like that's important. I do feel like there could be love coming in, but I really think it might just be understanding how beautiful you yourself are. Offloading guilt about some separation, You're just walking away. Maybe you're even looking at it like I was looking at it last night, like maybe, instead of feeling rejected, maybe I understand that this just isn't my path and Spirit is saying no. And I don't think I would have understood that message if I wouldn't have thought about the job in the casino. Because that was definitely a big rejection. I thought I had that job. And then I didn't get it. And I kind of even knew right then, like, you don't need this job anyway. Like, this is the last fucking place that you need to spend 40 hours a week, like, huh. And so now I'm just going to say it out loud. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, higher self, for blocking that, because you're right. It wasn't for me. And I feel like that about the relationship I'm thinking of too. Like, it just wasn't the path, So my journey is really about, like, kind of turning around all these 9 of Wands. I think all of our journey right now looks like that. We're like trying to figure out all the things that make us unique, our own unique experience, and embracing it, loving every piece of it. And then you have accepted your life, every bit of it, and that's when you get to move forward. You know what I mean? As soon as you accept the way it went. So that's what's going on in the planets right now, and that's what I'm getting for our purpose, is to kind of reframe the way we feel about our life and our soul, and interacting with that soul. Not even just interacting, we're surrendering to it. And that's what's going on with the planets. I hope that helps you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining me today.